Nishal, hi, afternoon. Let's start by discussing Bharat Forge. The stock is, I think, at an all-time high, and the commentary also has been superb. But at 1350, would you be a fresh buyer in Bharat Forge?
Afternoon, Aisha. Unfortunately, we do not cover it, so difficult for me to say that basically. But they seem to be in the right industries. They have done very well in the defense side. I think they were the one of the companies basically who had invested very early into the defense space, and I think they are reaping the benefits of it. Going ahead, as I said, we do not cover it, so difficult for me to call on the valuation front. But I think the company is a very decent one in that space. And again, on the engineering side, manufacturing side, I think they are one of the good companies out there.
Not really covering Bharat Forge, but Nishal, what about private banks? I mean, how long before you actually see a meaningful and, more importantly, sustainable uptick in them as a bunch?
So if you really look at it, I think except for HDFC Bank and Kotak because of the accident, otherwise I think both Axis, IndusInd, ICICI, all of them seem to be doing pretty well. I think in the last 1 month they are all up by almost around 7 to 8%. So I think private banks are on the move. They are really in a good spot. Numbers have been very good. Valuations are favoring them. So I'm very hopeful basically that in the coming quarters, 2 or 3 sectors will do well, IT, banking, and to an extent FMCG also.
Let's see whether these sectors turn around or not, Nishal. But let me bring Nuresh also into the conversation. Nuresh, a lot of big buzzers in the trading session today, right from our REC PFC, which have managed to bounce back from that big dip that they had seen yesterday, to the fact that Pidilite and Voltas are reacting negatively to their earnings. Are you seeing any big buying opportunity on dips or anything that you suggest people should book profits into? Any specific charts?
So out there, we are seeing a lot of reaction post results. So if somebody has looked into, say, a Marico, I think the stock can see some profit booking around that 595, 600 mark. The stock has hit a new all-time high. So some bit of profit booking could be done over there. We are seeing more price reactions post numbers. So tough to take a trade unless we've seen a sharp correction. So Voltas could be interesting if we tip another 4-5%. That could be a good entry point in the stock.
Okay, that's some of the buzzers in trade right now. Bharat Forge, of course, holding out. REC PFC as well, seeing a decent move. Kunal, is the damage out of the way on REC PFC?
Well, short-term wise, yeah, but I think the stock has not yet closed the gap which was created 2 days back for REC. I think the gap for the stock on the futures at least is around 570, 575. So that high has to be taken out for the stock to really indicate that the medium-term bottom is in place, and we are now looking at a much more stronger breakout. But the good part, at least in the last 5-6 days of initially the rise for REC PFC and then a 2-day correction and then a bounce back, is that the volumes and the volume activity has been very, very high, which means that whichever way the side breaks out, whether it's 570, 575 on the upside for REC or whether it's 520 on the downside, I would believe that trends could be much more stronger.
The numbers look largely in line, at least that's the first flash, wherein the PAT has come in at about 1,020 odd crore rupees. We were penciling in about 1,026, so that's bang in line. The critical thing, of course, is going to be to look out for what the volume projection is. Even though the monthly sales data does seem to be projecting an uptick, we are anticipating a 10% year-on-year volume picture, but on a sequential basis, it could very well be a downtick of about 4.6%. So I think that is something that the street is going to be looking out for. I don't think we have more numbers, Anisha, do we?
Yeah, we do have. EBITDA margin has actually come in at 14.3% in the quarter gone by. It's reflecting an improvement of 120 basis point. Volume figure was largely known on account of that monthly data, so I don't think street will factor that in largely. I think margin is something that the street would want to know. So 14.3% in terms of EBITDA margin, an improvement of 120 basis point. They are saying it's driven by product mix, lower commodity costs, higher savings, and judicious price increases that the company has taken. So that's another thing to watch out for. And in terms of the commentary coming in from Mr. Niranjan Gupta, who's of course the CEO of the company, they say that they're looking to boost the scooter portfolio by launching some new products there as well. They're driving market share gains on back of new launches in premium and 125cc segment that they've done in FY24 so far. And overall, they're expecting that they see a very positive outlook for the upcoming years, and they're saying coming year will see us taking big strides in EV through product launches in mid and affordable segment. So overall, it's a positive commentary coming in. Abhishek Shinde is also joining us on the show to talk to us about that. Abhishek, on the profitability front, it's largely in line with expectation. Even top line isn't too very different from what we were expecting. How do you read the margin profile of 14.3% and the commentary coming in?
See, broadly, you see that the 14.3% kind of margin which company has reported is almost in line with the street estimates and our estimates. So the broader thing is that we have to keep in note that this margin is coming out in spite of the losses what it has been making in the EV business. So the underlying EBITDA margin for the IC business may be higher than that of that one. One. Two, the management has been optimistic on the business, and so we are also on the two major points. One is that the product mix of the company has been consistently improving, which is moving towards more to the premium side. And second, that it has been ramping up its distribution network, which would help company to have a better engagement with the customers going forward. So considering that, we have been positive on the Hero MotoCorp performance. And given that it's a traditional first-time buyer for the rural segment has yet to recover fully. So we are positive on that, and the result we believe it's largely in line with our estimates.
Yeah, there's a dividend of 40 rupees per share as well, which got announced. But other than that, what from the commentary, Abhishek, would you look out for, besides, of course, whether the rural demand looks sustainable or not?
See, the key thing that we are looking for from the management side is mainly on the product launch side, especially on the 125cc plus segment. One, two, it has some point of a time talked about the multiple product launches on the EV segment too. Three, that expansion, status of its expansion of its EV distribution network. And four, that what it has been doing up now to expand its presence in the export business. Recently, it has set up new tie-ups in the Nepal market. So beyond that, what are its plans? That are the key things which we are looking for.
Okay, point taken. So that's the word coming in on Hero MotoCorp. But quickly, if you can tell us what's the pecking order within the entire two-wheeler space, because of course today TVS will come out with its earnings as well. But in terms of stock picks?
See, Hero MotoCorp has been in our topic, given that the kind of traction it has seen in the business and the changes which it has been doing to set up an structural or fundamental business. And second is on the valuation comfort. It is still cheapest stock available in the whole pack. So we are continuously considering Hero MotoCorp as our topic in the two-wheeler segment.
EV with product launches in the mid as well as some other segment as well. I've missed that flash. Affordable segment, and they've approved setting up a unit in Brazil as well. Coming year, we'll be taking big strides in EV once again. And yes, mid and affordable segment is where the product launches, Abhishek, are going to be. You want to react on that? Abhishek, can you hear me?
Okay, in the meantime, I'll just read out further commentary because the management saying that the macroeconomic factors is something which is going to aid the industry growth. They see multiple tailwinds for the sector in the upcoming quarters. They will be driving market share gains on the back of the launches that they're making in the premium and the 125cc category. And they see a very positive outlook for the upcoming years. Abhishek, we'll let you go on that note, but let me quickly throw it to Nishchal if he's still with us. Nishchal, within the two-wheeler pack and this entire rural recovery that we are talking about, do you think two-wheelers like Hero MotoCorp, etc., are the best way to play it?
Quite positive on Hero Honda, basically. And I think not only the rural side, but I think they have done pretty well on the EV side also now. So, and there is a whole bunch of EVs which they are looking to launch going ahead. So I think rural recovery, obviously, they have got the largest market share on the rural side. So I think, yes, Hero is best placed to play the rural recovery game.
Point taken. So that's the view coming in on Hero MotoCorp. But shifting focus to the other stocks which are reacting as well, apart from Bharat Forge, which is up a good 10% now and holding on to those gains, Balaji Mines is another result reaction. Century Textiles is actually holding up quite well. On the losing side, however, it is Sonata Software, which is down and out in the trading session. In terms of the earnings which are expected, Asian Paints is of course one stock which will be in focus tomorrow. We are expecting the volume growth to be 6 to 8%, and the overall product mix is something which is turned negative. There is going to be a bit of a negative operating leverage, and that's why the profitability is only expected to jump up by around 2%. Nishal, within the paint segment, while the real estate demand has been very strong, it's not percolating to the paint segment on a like-to-like basis given the lag effect. But overall, the commentary continues to be a bit more muted. What's your sense on the paint segment? Is this something that you should stay away from, or is it a good time to invest perhaps?
I think paint segment per se basically underperformed for some time. I think it could be a good time for you to start looking at that. Obviously, the largest player continues to be still a very dominant player. I think the volumes have been pretty good for the Asian. We are slightly more optimistic than 6 to 10%. We believe that volume should be on the higher side, closer to the 10% kind of a number for Asian Paints. So I think overall the paint industry is looking good, except for if you look at from the stock market point of view, I think Grasim's entry has actually created that negative buzz around saying that there is huge competition, and on the ground there is strong competition which Grasim is coming in. There is some discounts which Grasim is forcing to make an entry and get the market share. So I think this could continue to create a problem for a couple of more quarters till we find out what's really happening on the ground. But on the whole, I think the industry is looking good and the stocks have not gone anywhere for some time. So could be a good entry point at these prices.
Okay, Nishal, stay with us. Lots more to talk about, but we're going to take a very quick break. Look at Bharat Forge. I think that's now frozen in circuit. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, almost a 10% uptick is what that stock has seen. There you go, 1363 on Bharat Forge right now. Hero MotoCorp reacting positively to its numbers so far, holding up almost 2%. We'll take a quick break, be right back.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.